Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use pixel art to create a sprite for a simple game and then import it into Scratch and add some controls to it. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to head on over to my Scratch account, which is scratch.mit.edu/Mr. O. Tomsky, and you are going to open up Ocean Scratch Start. So you'll see when you open that up and you press the green flag, nothing actually happens. So this is your starting document, and you will be putting in your own Stingray sprite and adding the controls and some of the code to the spider crab here. So I'm just going to press stop and then minimize this. So if we click on to see inside, you can see there's a bunch of code here, and if you pull these things down, you have the notes on how to complete the code. So here, basically this is the first piece of code, and you can figure out the rest for the other directions here. So let's take a look at the final product. So we've got a little simple animation on the Stingray sprite, wagging tail, and the spider crabs, they also rotate and move slightly. So those are images edited in Photoshop, and the Stingray sprite has been made in pixel art. So it's a really simple game. The spider crabs clone and then respawn, and then the Stingray collects, and you'll see the score on the top adds up. So there's many things that you could add to this. You could add some other enemies. At this point in time, it's not really a real game because there's not a way to win or lose, but you can add those elements into it pretty simply. So I'm going to just go and stop and minimize, and we're going to see what's inside the code here. So we have some pretty simple directions. When up arrow is pressed, point in the 90-degree direction and change Y by 10. When left arrow is pressed, point in direction 0. So 0. When we go down, we're going -90. And when we're going right, we are going 180. So they're just degrees there. And the other thing that's happening here is we have the costume cycling. So it cycles between the two costumes every half a second. And that is all for that little guy there. Pretty simple code. If you click on costumes, you can see here you have 1, 2, and these were uploaded. So to upload a new costume, you have to make sure you have a sprite. So you can hover over the cat, and then if you click upload sprite, you can find one from your technology folder in your documents saved on your OneDrive. So we're going to revisit this in a sec, but what I want you to do now is to use pixel art to create something like this. So I'm going to head over to pixel art, type in pixel art, and it's spelt with a Pixil rather than EL. Click that one. And you can just click on to start drawing. So pretty simple little app here. It's kind of similar to like Photoshop or Paint if you've used those before. You can just skip these tips and you're going to work with this canvas. So when you press skip, you can go to 100 by 100 and this is pixels and click new drawing. So we are going to click onto the following. So if you go to this one, this is going to give you some symmetry. So you can draw and it'll draw a mirror image for you there. It's lots of fun. We're just going to get rid of that. And you can undo just by pressing this one. So we want a stingray because we are looking at our own backyard, which is Port Phillip Bay, and we're making an educational game. So we have some main characters and they are water based. So grab a pencil and as best as you can draw out the shape. This is what's called a smooth back stingray. Once you get down to here, you're just going to turn off the mirror and you can add the tail. If you make a mistake, just press Ctrl Z or Command Z. And I'm happy with that. So what I can do now is I can just get the paint bucket. And if I go here, I've just got some basic colors I can use. So just like paint, drop in your colors. You might want to do some more details as well. So add some eyes in. Make sure you got the correct color back. And you have the X symmetry selected. Add in some gills. And you can add in a little bit of shading. So click onto like a bit of a darker grey color. And we will add some sort of light creamy colored edges around the outside here. And one or a few little pale blue spots just to actually make it look a little more aesthetically interesting. You can turn off the symmetry if you want to make it look a bit more organic and natural. I'm pretty happy with that. I think the only thing I might add is maybe some shading around here. Okay, maybe just some color for the eyes. Let's go orange. Not sure what color eyes stingrays have, but that'll do. Orange and then maybe white. That looks cool. So what you can do now is you want to save this. So go to download, and you're going to download a PNG, and you want to save that into your, as soon as you click it, just goes to your downloads. So we're going to put that into Scratch right now. You can make your own account on Pixelart if you wish, but you can just use it free without an account. It's free to use without signing up, which is really good. So we'll go back to the Scratch document we were just on. So that is Ocean Scratch Start. And we are going to import our own sprite, and we are also going to add the code. So you'll notice that my Scratch here, it says see inside. So when you're logged in, I'm just going to log out and show you what it looked like when you're logged in. Sign in with my other account here. So when you're logged in, it's going to show something else. So type in my name up here, and you can see here, this is the ones you'll have available. Click onto Ocean Scratch Start, and because I've shared this, it has a little remix icon. So if you remix it, it will copy it to your account, and you can do whatever you want with it, which is really awesome. So first things first is to get your Stingray sprite into this game. So hover over the cat, click onto upload, and if you go to your downloads here, you will see that Stingray that you just created. Now, what you should do here is you should actually create a new folder. So call this Year 8 Tech. If you don't already have one, make one of those, drag it, drop it in, and in here is where you're going to keep all of your sprites and image and sound files for your game. So click that. You can also rename it. It's probably a good idea. So click that, open it, and you'll see that pops in there. I reckon it's probably a little bit better than my other one. Just looks a bit more kind of stylized. So what you can do now, you can start to put that code onto your own sprite. So there's a few ways you could do this. You could drag out all the blocks, which is probably what I'm going to do. But there's a few other options as well. So click onto your one, and the first thing you're going to do here is to create those controls. So we can zoom in a bit. We're going to go to events, and we want the green flag. So the green flag you want to have to start everything off, and you grab a forever block, which is in the controls. Drag that out. Forever, you're then going to grab an if, and then inside the if you are going to go to sensing, and you want to go to when key pressed. So key, drag that in and put in the up arrow. You then want to go to motion, and you want to go to point in direction. So we're going up, so we want Y. We're going to change Y by 10. Okay, we have done 1. We can test it out. That's working. You can always just click it with your mouse and drag it back. Any sprites you should just be able to click and move. Just bear in mind you want to make sure you have clicked the sprite you want to be coding onto. Next, we can go and we're going to pretty much just duplicate this and change a few things. So you can right click, duplicate, and here we're just going to go to change this one. So rather than up, you're going to go to down, go to down arrow, and rather than 90, it's going to be negative 90, so just put in a minus. And rather than 10, it's going to be negative 10. You can give that a whirl. That's working well. And same thing again. You can just right click, duplicate, and this is going to be your right arrow. And then here, rather than going negative 90, you want 180 in the positive. And you're going to change this. So that's no longer Y, that's an X. So we're changing X by 10. Perfect. Right click, duplicate, put that over here. And all we need to change here is right arrow becomes left arrow, and direction, rather than 180, it's going to be 0. And we are changing X by negative 10. You can press the green flag, and you now have your grooving stingray. Now we're going to add that simple bit of animation onto it. So you're going to go to costumes, and this is pretty easy. You can just right click, duplicate that one, and here you're going to flip it horizontally. Alright, now to get this animating, you're going to click back onto code, and you're going to go to zoom in a little bit so you can see what you're doing. You're going to go to when clicked, so go events, when clicked, and you're going to go and you're going to put in the starting location for this stingray. So we're going to start it off in this, I reckon we'll go right hand side. So drag it there, and here you have your coordinates laid out for you. So wherever you'd like your main character to start, you can copy those coordinates and put them into a go to XY block. So leave it there. I'm going to grab a motion block. I'll go to X, go to Y. I'm just going to copy. So wherever that is, wherever you first drag that out is where the block will give you the location. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. Wherever you want it to start, put it there and then drag the block out. So I'll show you again. If you put it here, you can see those coordinates update for you. So it's a good little tip for you. All right, now next thing is we want this to alternate forever. So we'll go to control and we'll go to get a forever block, and we want to go to looks. So this is next costume, and then we're going to wait. So we want a control block, and then we want to do a weight, and it's going to weight 0.5. We press the green flag, and now you can see we have made our Stingray move. We're off to a good start. We're going to press stop, and we are going to leave it there just about for this one. So what you want to do now is you want to make sure you save that. So you can call it Ocean Scratch, and you might want to just put a date on it. When you start making a lot of Scratch games, it's a good idea to date what you're doing. Okay, so save that. Mine's having some issue with saving, so if I click download, it'll download to your downloads folder. And yep, I'll show you how to upload it to Scratch. So that was just a bit of a weird glitch. For some reason it didn't work, but that's fine. These things happen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can put a downloaded Scratch document and upload it. So if you go to create, it's just going to make a new Scratch doc, and then you can go up to file and you can load. So I'm going to load up my one I just made there with the date. Open that up and just click OK when it says replace contents, and here we have the work we just did. So that's good. I'm going to get rid of this original Stingray. So what you can do that might make it easier is just to open up this. You can follow the steps, and when it comes time to upload your costume, you can just go to the cat, upload, and choose the costume that you have there. So that's another option. You can get rid of my costumes and duplicate, flip, and then all you need to do is follow the steps, and that's another option for you there. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that, and in the next lesson we will learn how to add the code on the spider crab. So we're going to make these guys spin and clone. See you next time.